Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the gym in the crypto episode 213. Today is Wednesday, hump day, July 25th, and I'm King. And of course, this week, Bitcoin Zay is still out. So I think somebody said they're going to put an APB out on him, so maybe we'll see him next week. What's going on, Gabriel Hernandez, Madam Crypto, Jamal J, Antonio, Crypto Q, Malik Howard, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let you all flood in here. For the free Satoshis from yesterday, of course, we asked, what will be the next company or group of companies we think that would have the next ETF, or at least apply for an ETF and have a chance to actually get it. Antonio had one of the first ones on there, actually. He said the government would probably give an ETF to Coinbase, aka Coinbase. They got a huge database of customers and they comply with the government without hesitation. So he said Coinbase ticks all the boxes, but he said if he wins, he wants to give it to the second best answer. Actually, the second best answer wasn't in the comment box, but it was emailed to us. It was a new user. So let me find them real quick, give a shout out to them. Their name is Dolo SC1094. So I think they're going to put it in the comment box eventually. But they had a really good point. They said likely ETF will go to Van Eck and Solid X, who joined forces recently. Van Eck being around for a while and has the assets of $46 billion. And a foundation to secure Bitcoin for investors, even though their assets don't come close to the worth of Bitcoin right now. But it's enough to handle a huge hack if it ever were to happen. While Solid X has the experience with crypto to lend a hand and the expertise needed to provide a stable platform. So if Van Eck and Solid X decided to do an ETF, they think that would be approved. So great answer, Dolo SC. Again, if you can send us that public address, we will appreciate it. And this person said they actually been in crypto for 5 years. They just start watching us and listening to the gem in the crypto. So thanks for that. All right. Without further ado, what's going on, Marcellus Love, Sergeant Crypto? Without further ado, of course, let's go into these top stories. We asked for it. One was finally released. A 40 under 40 crypto list. Fortune releases first ever crypto-focused 40 under 40 annual rankings. Now, they did a way better job, of course, than, what was the first one, Forbes or something. However, it still is not the best one out, so we're going to need to do our own internal in-house one and push it out because, well, yeah, we'll take a peek at it. Again, we talked about the 40 under 40 that just got pushed out a week or so ago, or I guess it was last week, early this week, by, was it Forbes? I believe it was Forbes. But, of course, Fortune wanted to put theirs out. And let's just go to it and take a peek. This is the main one. Let me go back one to the page. It was a very interesting list, to say the least. Some people definitely deserve to be on there, and then some people, again, it was the main street saying in Fortune magazine, it kind of, they're not catering to the celebrity crowd, but they're still catering to that Wall Street crowd. So they want to make sure they have some of their friends and family on there. And of course, you can see it. Number one was Brian Armstrong. I think that's a pretty fair assessment. Was he 33 or something in charge of Coinbase with the helm there? So that's very Vitalik Buterin. Again, that makes sense. Number three, Jahan Wu, makes sense. But here, let's click on them because we're going to go through a few of the top 10 ones. See where they kind of get hasty at. Stripe. Number 4, Patrick and John Collison for Stripe. That's up in the air. Stripe isn't doing a lot with cryptocurrency right now. Did they do, of course, their company's valued at $9.2 billion, all good stuff. Of course, it's Stripe, they're ranking in billions of dollars, but it doesn't have a lot to do with cryptocurrency. So to put them number 4 on the list, again, this is Fortune catering to the mainstream, or Wall Street at least. Okay, Robinhood, that's a fair one. We have Rana Yar. Now, this is where we're definitely going to get into like the cloudiness. There's about 5 people in the top 10 or 15 that falls into this category. Managing Director and Principal Strategic Investments at Goldman Sachs. All right. Again, I'm glad you're at Goldman Sachs. And of course, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase, and they're all starting to enter the blockchain space, but they haven't done anything yet. So they said she has a big hand in setting up Goldman's new Bitcoin trading operation. Has anybody traded on Goldman Sachs? I don't know anybody who's done it. So again, for her to be placed at number 6, I don't see why. I'm not seeing that one. Next one. I haven't, what's this? Okay, this is the, he's actually done something. Of course, again, Goldman Sachs person just made over the Winklevoss twins, people. This makes no sense. You just started a trading operation at Goldman Sachs. but you're like 2 or 3 places ahead of Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss. To me, they should be, honestly, you can argue for them to be anywhere between 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Did they invent something like Ethereum? No, but on the business end of the spectrum, on the regulatory end, I mean, they're leading the way right there with Brian Armstrong. So, again, to have a couple people above them already makes no sense. They had the Stripe guys, and then the Goldman Sachs lady above them. I disagree with both those. Let's see. Bill Reddy. Again, PayPal. PayPal hasn't been doing anything with crypto, people. Why is PayPal, Stripe, and Goldman Sachs in the top 10? Makes no sense. Who else? Okay, Telegram. Yeah, you got PayPal over Telegram. You got Stripe over Telegram. This is a crypto-focused list. Again, I understand they're catering to Wall Street and some of those execs over there. See, my computer's freezing. See if we can get the next one. It's loading up a lot of photos. Go to the comments real quick. Christopher Ladd, what's going on? Yes, make sure you smash those likes and share, people. Here we go. Amber Baudet, Clovier. Again, she just got started up, but she's being more, I guess, focused on this crypto list because she was a blockchain program lead at JP Morgan Chase. They did just build that quorum, but again, that's a private database. It's not really crypto community ecosystem focused. So what she's doing now, as far as out into the crypto world, creating her own company or startup, Clovier, I can understand. But it says here she brought the hoodies and the suits together on Wall Street. That's not the point of a lot of people in the community. A lot of people don't care about joining forces with Wall Street or the regulators. So again, kudos to her. I'm sure she's done a lot of great things in the space. I just don't see her being number 11. And we'll look at a couple more if my computer stops freezing. All these photos are being loaded up. Okay, Block One, he deserves it. Yeah, anything with a crypto name, it's like you already deserve it. Tezos, of course, I didn't realize she was so young, 28 years old, raising $232 million. Definitely deserves that. Filecoin, again, deserves that. So you kind of get to see in some people, Coinbase. Honestly, it would be fair to put like the top 10 execs of Coinbase on here. I haven't went through all the lists because, for those who are under 40, because they've done a lot in general as a team. Circle, all right, Circle's fair. Arthur Hayes, BitMEX, yeah. So again, you got a couple people just because they work for some Wall Street companies over Arthur Hayes. The guy created BitMEX with some of the best margin trades out there. I believe you can go times 100 last time I checked. So again, they got a lot of people out of order or on this list that they should not have, but I understand why they had to cater to a crowd who's going to buy their magazine. So that was pretty interesting to see. S1 Dub said this list is useless. Many of the people that should be on this list are not even known by Fortune magazine or anywhere outside of the crypto community. Exactly. That's the nail on the head. Again, we could have easily filled those top 10 spaces with a ton of other people. We even mentioned, somebody mentioned the other day, Ivan on Tech. He should be on that list again. So again, I understand they're catering to the crowd who's actually going to buy their magazine. Fortune magazine, you're talking Wall Street, New York, Chicago, CME, all these people, they want to see their friends on the list. They want to see their friends in the top 5, top 10. But again, just looking at the few we looked at, there's no way, Stripe, JP Morgan Chase, and Goldman Sachs, there are a few people they had on there should be above Dural from Telegram. We're talking about a crypto list. He definitely is in like the top 5 or 10. He's fighting governments. We talked about this the other day. Marcellus Love said, wow, they are trying to rewrite the history of crypto already. They are trying to do it. I mean, wait until we get that big budget Hollywood cryptocurrency film. Do you think any of the little people are going to be on there? Like, it's going to be like, if you haven't already made billions of dollars or, done something just that we can't ignore, you won't make that. I mean, they had Roger Ver toward the bottom of the list. And of course, for that B-Cash crowd, if you don't like it, whatever. But Roger Ver was one of the first investors, entrepreneurs into cryptocurrency. I believe he was like 30, 31 years old when he first started. He started investing money in these companies. Of course, he worked with Charlie Shrem. You can't, I mean, he used to be Bitcoin Jesus. So you can't discount what he's done, whether you like him or not. Or for Fortune, maybe they don't know that much about him, but they have Roger Ver toward the bottom of the list. Roger Ver is easily a top 5, top 10, 40 under 40 person in crypto. All right, whether you like what he's been doing or not. Again, a lot of that is actually business moves. I mean, if you've been in the space earlier and you can say, hey, I can start my own currency and get people to buy it and pump and dump it and make triple my money than just sitting in Bitcoin. Again, this is business. But he definitely should be in the top 5 or 10. So makes no sense. Jamal J said, visited Goldman, UBS, Bloomberg, CME, NASDAQ, and the New York Stock Exchange last week. And on average, the average employee is still mostly clueless. Exactly. So because you're at JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs and You know, they didn't know anybody else who knew what they were doing. You were the one person who bought Bitcoin for everybody, and they hired you to be in charge of their blockchain development desk, whoever. You're in the top 5 or 10 of the 40 under 40 in crypto. I mean, again, if I was being honored with that award, who would turn it down? But also, it's one of those things where fortune, you might need to do a better job. You definitely need to do a better job next time. Yes, Sergeant Crypto, we will come up with our own list. Japan, Self-Regulatory Crypto Exchange Association considers margin trade limits to stem losses. People, when I saw this, when it comes to regulation, the top is almost in, all right? The Japan Virtual Currency Exchanges Association, the JVCEA, already trying to take acronyms like the Feds, said it wants to place restrictions on member exchanges margin trading. The news of the plans of Japan's self-regulatory cryptocurrency body comes from a Chinese media report July 24. For those who know, again, we just talked about BitMEX and the margin trading. They can go times 100. Margin trading is the practice of borrowing money from the broker used by crypto traders to buy or sell more cryptocurrency than they could afford on their own, thereby increasing their potential profits along with losses. So if I knew Bitcoin is about to go on a crazy bull run, but I didn't have enough money in my, enough capital to cover it, I can put money on margin. I can say, hey, I want to borrow up to 10 to 20 to 30 times, all the way up to 100 times the amount of money I have. Of course, the more money you borrow, the less the margin is for, that the number could change. So let's say if the Bitcoin price is at $8,000 and you go times 100 on margin, if that thing slips down to $7,985, you might take a loss. It might liquidate you. But on the flip side, that thing goes from $8,000 to $20, $8,000 and $8,100. Then that times 100 margin, you're going to get that back even more. So again, that's an extreme case. Smart people usually do anywhere between 3 to 5, sometimes even 10. But a lot of really good traders can go higher than that. But anyway, the point of the story is the JVCA is basically saying that it wants to prevent investors from suffering. Again, they want to help you investors. It aims to prevent investors from suffering a lot of losses due to sudden price fluctuation in the virtual currency. Adding it planned to enact the rule within a month if it gains support. No. Who would support this? Hands off the market. Stop trying to regulate the market. I swear, Bitcoins, they would tell you this thing has been dropped. Like, I knew the regulatory thing was going to come this year. I was one of the first people to announce it last year, saying back in October and November, it was like, when we get back from these holidays, it's going to be nonstop regulation. But this is getting out of control. You're telling me you want to regulate the margin trade limits. Why? If people don't know how to trade, it's a free market, or they do know how to trade, regardless of whatever it is, they don't need you to hold their hand. If they lose their shirt trying to margin times 100, thinking the market's going to be, we're about to go on a bear run, a bull run, whatever, and they lose out, they just lost. That's real life. Stop trying to hold everyone's hand in real life. Rip the Band-Aid off. People must learn these hard lessons on their own. We've lost money trading. I know plenty of other people lost money trading. Some people have made money trading. It goes both ways. That's why it's called trading, people. It's an open market. It's a free market. I think this is not the step in the wrong direction. It's the step in the worst direction. Because as soon as you start saying, well, hey, we need to add limits on margin. Well, then maybe we need to add limits on how much you can deposit. Or like the traditional market, maybe we need to add limits on who's allowed to trade. And unless you have a bank account of at least $20,000 to $25,000, and you decide to do more than 5 trades a month, maybe you need a license now. It is a slippery slope. There's no reason to go down it. Margin trading already has limits. It's called being liquidated. When you go over your limit or you don't have enough money to cover it, you're going to lose. So I don't want a third party, even if it's a self-regulatory, quote unquote, even though they work with their government, crypto exchange, to tell me how much I can trade on margin, when I can do it, etc. It makes no sense. I wholeheartedly disagree with this. This is crazy. Yeah, so it just makes no sense. Makes no sense. But any way you can regulate it, I guess they're going to try. Look, somebody just said, if they do this, I would no longer use any Japanese exchange. Agreed. Next up, Coinbase takes on cryptocurrency gift cards with limited rollout. Of course, this is one of those things that was, kudos to Coinbase. It's a pretty cool thing to do, especially to add some interest in the crypto market. But major U.S., I'm tired of saying this every day because they always have a story. Coinbase has entered the crypto gift card market, allowing customers in certain countries to exchange coins for brand e-certificates. Looks like in their posts, Coinbase confirmed the new option was made possible through a partnership with UK-based startup WeGift and will effectively allow cryptocurrency holders to pay for goods and services through brands such as Nike, Tesco, Uber, Google Play, Ticketmaster, and Zalando. It looks like there are going to be customers in the EU and Australia will be able to instantly spend their cryptocurrency balances on e-gift cards, making it the first trading platform to offer direct withdrawals into e-gift cards. If this works, I think this would be a great thing. Again, it's another way for people to accept cryptocurrency, honestly. Even if you're a small business or whatever, hey, Uber, for example, if you take Uber a lot, then why not, switch your crypto over to Uber gift card and just use it on there? I mean, the money, the value will be used. Same with Nike. If you go to Nike Live, you get tickets from Ticketmaster. This makes great sense. I think at the end of the day, it's still kind of gimmicky, but it's a good gimmick to have right now in the market because it adds some positivity to it. It allows for mainstream people to come in and start playing around the crypto space. And then as soon as they, rather make their crypto or buy crypto, they can just transfer it to a gift card so they don't feel like they're losing that money, when the market fluctuates as it does. So I think that's a pretty cool thing to see. So shout out to Coinbase for doing that. And yeah, I'm sure it'll go well for them. Is blockchain about to become a patent war battleground? The answer to that is yes. Last week, news of at least 3 major players applying for blockchain-related patents emerged. Of course, Bank of America sought to legally protect its blockchain-based system, allowing the external validation of data. Barclays filed 2 patent applications relating to the transfer of digital currency and blockchain data storage, while MasterCard's application mentioned a form of public blockchain-based method for linking assets between blockchain and fiat accounts. All right, here's the thing. We already have open source technology which allows you to have a blockchain-based system allowing the external validation of data. We have a open source code to allow the transfer of digital currency and blockchain data storage, which is why we have things like SIA Coin, Filecoin, etc. And MasterCard said they wanted to link assets between blockchain and fiat accounts. Again, that is open source technology. And they are basically trying to steal it with the government's help. You can see here, companies with the most patent filings. Bank of America has filed 45. You got IBM at 34, Alibaba at 36, MasterCard at 21. They're trying to patent technology, which is open source. Again, for those who don't know what open source means, it's free, it's out there. You can just download it and use it like you can the Bitcoin blockchain by going to GitHub. For long, not much longer. We'll see. Microsoft's probably going to throw a subscription on top of that. But this is free technology. So it's interesting to see, it doesn't surprise me, but you have banks now, and you have these big companies saying, well, we know it's free technology, and we download the technology and start playing with it for free as well. But we're going to make small little alterations that's still actually going to be a centralized system that we only own and patent it. And try to patent the entire technology so no one else can do it, even though we download the technology for free just like everyone else in the world can. Again, a ridiculous story. I think the patent war already started. They even mentioned patent trolls now. And again, if I'm a lawyer in the crypto space or something, this is actually a great idea. It's kind of like the www whatever websites, when people just start buying up websites left and right, and then years later start selling them back to people. This is a great idea. Patent everything you can. If our government wants to be this ridiculous, and wants to be this corrupt and just okay every patent, which again won't mean anything, because even if you patent it here, you know what, grab your laptop and move to another country, all right, and just use the same technology. But yeah, if you're a lawyer or something and you're just trying to patent things left and right and the government's allowing you, then yes, there will be more patent trolls and it makes sense. But again, this is one of those things where you're trying to patent free technology that's out there for everyone so you can make your profit on it. Another reason why we can't wait for the fall of banks out here. But it was a pretty interesting story. United States Delaware Department of Justice reaches out to Poloniex crypto exchange users if they have an issue. It looks like that bag that has been bought up, I think it was Poloniex, like a $300 million buy or something. I think they're starting to realize there was nothing in it. Poloniex crypto exchange has apparently piqued the interest of the Investor Protection Unit of the Delaware Department of Justice, as shown in the email shared with Cointelegraph. The Chief Special Investigator of the Investor Protection Unit, the IPU, never heard of that until today, wrote to a list of individuals asking them to contact him should they have any difficulties with the Poloniex account. So you want me to believe a regulator, out of the kindness of their heart, Chief Special Investigator of the IPU, wrote to Poloniex users saying, hey, If you guys have any problems, you can call me and I'll take care of them. I'm not buying it. I want to know which users. Let me guess. The ones who traded a lot of money. The ones whose accounts are worth over 100, 200K, that you probably also know that they didn't pay taxes or they doing something, you know, whatever. But I just don't see them out of the kindness of their heart reaching out to say, hey, again, we're here. Whenever you hear the government is here for your protection and all that, have you not gotten the cycle things we keep seeing, the pattern we see? And, you know, military, we say 3 is a trend. They keep saying this is for the customer, this is for the investor, we're trying to protect you. I'm not believing it. Every time they say that, they are doing the exact opposite, and they're shrouding it in, this is for you all. So every time I see this, I'm not believing it. So the fact that I'm seeing it now, again, I'm not believing it. It looks like, you know, this IPU unit reviews and investigates investor complaints, as well as examine investment advisors and broker-dealers. Poloniex users have taken to the exchange unofficial subreddit in recent weeks, complaining about missing or stuck deposits. It looks like, you know, we got a user here complaining that they said, I've joined the ranks of countless users who have a missing/stuck deposit. One of those where every block explorer shows your funds and your Poloniex sanctioned deposit address, sitting politely with 400,000 million confirmations, while your account never actually reflects funds. All right. For the people who has their funds stuck in Poloniex, if you know anybody like that, you need to tell them to watch the Gym in the Crypto, not now, but right now. Because we've been telling people about Poloniex since they shut down their troll box that it was over. When they shut down the troll box, that was the writing on the wall. It was like, it was an all hands on deck thing. There was no more chat boxes. They even hired some of the people who were in the troll box to work for them. A lot of them even did it, you know, volunteered their time, did it for free because everyone did like Poloniex. When Poloniex was booming in end of 2016, still a little bit early 2017, early to mid 2017, when they were at the top of the food chain, it was a great exchange, people. All right, you know, you could go margin for a few coins, I think ×5. You know, again, a troll box, you can talk to people from around the world. It basically was like having a Telegram chat box right there while you trade it. People would, you know, try to shield coins. You can get a pins, you can discuss things, whatever. But they've been dead. Everyone knows they've been dead. The volume's been inflated, allegedly. And, you know, that was one of the running jokes we made was that after they got bought, thanks to Marcellus, for $400 million, it was just another big company or big bank buying an empty bag that they didn't realize. They were buying a bag. So it's one of those things, if you're still, to this day, trading on Poloniex, then yes, these things are going to happen. This is not the place to be right now. They're dead right now, okay? It's just not happening. Maybe they'll come back one day, but not right now. So, again, I get where the government's coming from. They're like, hey, this is our chance to come in and quote unquote help these investors get their funds back, which as soon as you tell the government how much funds you have stuck in Poloniex, you are done. So we'll see what happens. And this is one of those things where, you know, things didn't go right. So now they're reaching for regulators for help. And this is how the government gets involved with these laws and regulations in general, something we are against. John Siebert said the end of the troll box was the beginning of the fall. Exactly. Harold George said protection means losing rights. Yep, that's how it works. Protection means loss of privacy and loss of rights. S1 Dub said I had money stuck in there for 8 months last summer to the beginning of this year. I was a newbie and was a valuable lesson. Again, you know, I don't wish that on anybody. We've had that happen. Bittrex. You talk about Bittrex. One thing that a lot of people don't know is after you reach a certain point of your account, they will literally just stop your withdrawals. They will. I won't say they'll stop it, but they'll minimize it. So let's say you have a lot of money in your Bittrex account because you're a decent trader. They'll throw a restriction on there that says, well, hey, you can only withdraw. It's literally the same thing a bank would do, so you can't do a bank run on. Bittrex has done that as well. They do that to some of their high value accounts, and they won't tell you. You won't know until you try to make that withdrawal, and then you'll see this new thing pop up where it's like, where you're only allowed to withdraw 0.5 or 1 or 2, however many Bitcoin a day. So they're all doing it. And yeah, I mean, you know, we've had money stuck on exchanges as well. It's not fun, but you know, it comes with the territory. Yep, John Siebert said, beware of Bittrex, lock my account. Bittrex is super shady, people. I'm gonna tell you that now. They're super shady, but there's just not enough places to go, which is why so many people like Binance when they came out. So it's pretty interesting. Oh, one thing I want to go back to one story I forgot to mention. You know, when we talk about Coinbase with the cryptocurrency gift cards with limited rollout, as amazing as this is, if you haven't noticed a common trend, Coinbase is launching everything, right? They're launching gift cards. They're launching different trading desks. They're bringing on new coins. They're hiring executives from Facebook, TD Ameritrade, and the likes. The one thing they aren't doing, if you haven't noticed, is hiring someone for HR. They're not hiring anybody to take over support center. They still don't care about their customer. I thought about this earlier. It was funny that they rolled out this entire cryptocurrency gift card thing, and they still don't have support. They still, and this what made me think about, we're talking about locking you out accounts. Coinbase is infamous for locking you out of account if you buy too much Bitcoin. Everyone knows that, who's been in the game for a while. I learned the hard way when I first really got started there. Like most people start on Coinbase. After you buy a certain amount of Bitcoin, they will literally just lock your account. They won't tell you why. They say your money is available for withdrawal or transfer, but you can no longer buy Bitcoin on your account. It's happened to Bitcoin Zay a few times. It happened to me about 3 or 4 times. No explanation. They just lock it, and then if you try to email them, of course, you get on the back, you tweet them, all the good stuff. They just tell you that they're allowed to make any decision they want without telling you why. And so yeah, I would love to see Coinbase get a support desk before they keep rolling out new things to make more money. But again, we're in that IPO race. Why would you? Makes no sense. Antonio said Bittrex is heading down the Poloniex route. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yes. Christopher Lass said he wasn't feeling Bittrex. Listen, I'm just going to say some people at Bittrex I owe a swirly to, as Bitcoin Zay would say. First assassination markets appear on prediction platform Augur. Yes, you heard it right. We talked about Augur a few weeks ago when they really rolled out their true platform, when they truly became decentralized. Decentralized prediction market platform Augur has now, again, the assassination popped up. It looks like users are now betting on whether U.S. President Donald Trump will be assassinated by the end of the year or anything less jarring, it says. They also have a couple other people. They're gambling whether 96-year-old actress Betty White. All right, y'all better leave Betty White alone, all right? Funny, too funny. Leave her alone. And U.S. Senator John McCain, war hero, who has been diagnosed with brain cancer, will survive until January 1st, 2019. Wow. So again, you can kind of see what Donald Trump looks like. You can trade on this, 1% fee. It already has 51.46 shares on it. And that expires again at the end of the year. Now, of course, you know who doesn't like this is governments, but as this one guy tweeted, Angus C.D. Crespingi, I can't pronounce that, said if Augur is decentralized, then this will continue to happen. If it's not decentralized, then why is it sitting on the blockchain? I love that quote. If it's not decentralized, why is it sitting on a blockchain? So for all these companies, all these people who made Fortune's 40 under 40 list for doing things with JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, is not decentralized. Why are we even talking about them? They said censorship resistance means nothing if you only want to allow nice, legal, culturally acceptable things. This is true. And again, 2 weeks ago, Augur just also tweeted this a couple days ago. They said, happy 2 weeks. Ownership of the escape hatch has been transferred to a new address. Basically, about a couple weeks ago, Augur did have a kill switch that can lock up all contracts on the network in the event of a critical bug and save the platform from falling prey to another DAO hack situation. But the 2 weeks has since passed, where they finally launched, of course, and they sent that kill switch to a burn address, which means no single entity can control the network. And yes, you can have assassination attempts being betted on or any other of the most despicable things in society. It can happen, but that is what happens when you have a decentralized platform. And if it stays up, then I think it's working. Not saying it's a good thing, but it works. Just as many bad bets as far as people getting assassinated will be on it. There will be good ones too. As you know, who's going to be the first guy to graduate from what school with a blockchain degree? You know, who knows? So, and I love this comment somebody made. They said, assuming these bad actors aren't state-sponsored trolls looking to discredit crypto in the first place. That's another thing to consider. When you see these, will President Trump of the USA be killed at any point during 2018? Again, these people aren't stupid. We keep saying they don't know a lot about blockchain and crypto, but they're not stupid. And basically what's been coming out from our political campaigns in general, not just President Trump. You talk about Hillary or the Clintons in general. Obama has some stuff as well. Senior Bush, all these people, you know, Nixon. I wouldn't be surprised if it was somebody at the White House who actually put this up just so regulators and everybody can point the finger and say, see, this crypto stuff is bad. They're betting on assassination. So, again, very interesting to see up there. But this is a decentralized market, and I think it's right. I mean, it's one of those things where It makes perfect sense. It doesn't mean it's fair or it's something that's positive, but it's a truly decentralized marketplace. So you're going to see things like that. Dan the man has a straight face with that one, right? All right, for the free Satoshis today. For the free Satoshis. Let's see. Let's go back to the Fortune 40 under 40 list. One more time. Under the Fortune 40 under 40 list, who in the crypto space is not listed that you think should be on the list? There was actually a couple more good ones from the last one. A few people said that just didn't make the cut, but here's your chance for some quick free Satoshis. Again, put your public address down with your answer in the comment section on YouTube. But under this Fortune 40 under 40 crypto list, who is missing? Who is under 40 in the crypto community that we're still missing on this list that we should see on there? Go ahead and tell us who and why, and we'll be sure to send you those free Satoshis. Again, thanks for watching, people. Happy Hump Day. It's pretty funny. People are saying they're getting in on a Trump bet. Happy Hump Day, and I will see you all tomorrow with some more crypto news. Cheers.